Welcome back. Time for our GMC Sierra tweet of the night. It is from our friends at the NFL on CBS. That Pickens duo, and those two hook up for a 33-yard touchdown pass on the Steelers' first drive of the game. Kenny Pickett got off to a hot start for this Steelers offense in his first and only drive of the game. Made pretty quick work. Goes 6 of 7 in that first drive for 70 yards and a touchdown, and that one incompletion was pretty much a throwaway to avoid a sack. But Chris Hoke, we'll start with this first because it was the first thing that we saw in this game, but it was also the thing I think it was most anticipated. How would Kenny Pickett do? How would this offense do? They go in, they move down the field, they throw the ball 7 times out of 11 plays, they get in the end zone, and then that first team's off the field.
Yeah, and I really loved how they come out and started. The first couple throws were quick throws. He took the ball out of his hands, get it into his receivers, let him make plays in space just to get him in the flow of the game. And then he started to hold on the ball a little more, pushing it down for third down conversions, and then that strike down to George Pickens. What a beautiful throw, and then an even better move by Pickens to misdirect, beat the safety for a 33-yard touchdown pass and run. Just a beautiful series. I thought that Matt Canada really called that series really, really well because it just kind of got Kenny into the flow of the game, and it's going 6 of 7, like you said, with a throwaway as he was going down. Pretty clean drive there for the offense.
Another thing I liked about that drive is the fact that he spread the ball around. Of course, Pickens is the one that closed out that drive, but he got to Deontay Johnson early enough, and he threw 3 passes to him for 3 catches for 32 yards, all in that first drive for Deontay Johnson. So not only did you see Kenny Pickett throwing the ball, but he's moving it around the field, he's getting other guys involved, and then he finds that big play for George Pickens. It's almost like, a couple jabs and body blows to set up that knockout punch.
Absolutely. Actually, when I was watching that drive, I was thinking, is he going to give the ball to George? They're only getting one series here. We knew that before the game. So would George Pickens be mad if he didn't get the ball after the game was over? But, man, did he get a big one there, show up for a 33-yard touchdown catch and run.
Yeah, one-punch knockout for George Pickens, so to speak. Got some phone calls to get to before we take our first break. We got Dre in Bridgeville. Dre, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Yeah, how we doing, fellas? I just wanted to mention Kenny Pickett looked real sharp, was in great rhythm today. I liked the play calls. We got a lot more speed on the offense. McFarland looked very fast.
Yes.
Also, I've been waiting for him to come around. My little guy, number 19, he's going to take the top off of all the defenses this season upcoming, as long as he stays healthy. Looks like we have a lot of depth in the trenches, defensive line and offensive line. I'm excited. Number 26 set the tone. I think that was a bad call on I guess that was an unnecessary roughness or whatever.
Yeah, in the first quarter.
I think it was just the speed of the game. He's flying all around, setting the tone. But I'm really excited this season, guys, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, Dre. He hit on a lot of good points. And Hoke, you and I were talking about Anthony McFarland and also Jaylen Warren, just their ability to move in the flow of this offense, to read blocks well, make guys miss, and turn out some pretty big plays. But then he talks about Calvin Austin. Made a couple plays in the run game off the jet sweep. He had a big gain on that first carry. He had 4 touches altogether, 96 total yards, and then that big touchdown catch from Mason Rudolph, whom you talked about quite a bit watching this game. You thought he looked pretty good too. But that pass to Austin, and Dre's right, he took the top off the defense, and Mason Rudolph found him in stride.
He did, and if you can throw those balls down the field like that and connect for 67-yard touchdown passes, and you can do that consistently, throwing the ball down the field, it's just going to open up the run game, right? Because now you're going to have linebackers backing out. You're not going to have safeties creeping up into the box, and it's going to give more room for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren and Anthony McFarland and all these running backs the Steelers have right now. And you talked about Jaylen Warren. You talked about Anthony McFarland. What I love about those two guys, they can put their foot in the ground and they can accelerate and go quick to speed so fast. Jaylen Warren had like a 10-yard run there in one of the drives he was in, shifting, bouncing, dodging people, going for 10 yards. I mean, they are a really deep football team at the running back position, at the quarterback position. I mean, you talk about every position. This is one of the deepest teams the Steelers have had in years.
It's been a long time. You and I talked about it. Last time, just on the defensive side, we've seen this much depth. You might have been on the field with this group, but it is definitely something to keep an eye on. We're going to take another timeout here. We'll talk a little bit more. We'll take some phone calls and tweets when we come back. Stick around.